look at the map of the arrests, okay? Guy from Energy Ministry of Economy in charge of energy is arrested. Then former Deputy Defense Minister, and then Defense Minister is arrested. Then suddenly former head of the Municipal Development is arrested, and Deputy Minister of Infrastructure is arrested.
The rules of the game have changed. And from now onwards, I am the government, and also I am the opposition.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if you want to be part of my politics, I have to own you then. So you have to belong to me. Hello and welcome to Talk Georgia Question Time. With me, Giorgi Rukhadze.
And with me, Nodar Kharshiladze.
This is a special edition of Talk Georgia where Nodar and I answer your pressing questions about Georgian and regional politics.
And it's brought to you by Droeba Media Group's trusted source of information and analysis.
And GSAC, a think tank providing comprehensive political analysis of Georgia and wider Black Sea region, also academic and practical training for postgraduate students and mid-career professionals.
So let's go.
Let's go to questions which came from Valery and Kato, and it runs like this. Why is Giorgi Gakharia facing a 13-year sentence despite participated in the local elections and entering parliament? And with the recent arrests and dismissal of top officials, who will Ivanishvili target next?
Well, these are two different questions, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I made it into one question.
Yeah.
Let me give a bit of a background story before you go to analysis. This week what happened was that ex-Prime Minister Gakharia, who is in exile in Germany, by the way, news is that he started work for the Berlin Bertie School, so as a researcher and an expert on Eastern Europe. So congratulations on him. So we have a new competitor, basically. He was charged in absentia for Gavrilov's night crackdown on demonstrators and Chorchana episode when he was not defense minister but interior minister, he erected this checkpoint near Tskhinvali occupation line that Tsulukiani's commission claims that escalated relations with the Russians and the separatists. So, and he found guilty. He faces 13 years in prison. Also, what happened was that I think it was this week. Also, Kobakhidze dismissed but existing deputy justice minister and existing deputy minister for interior. The justice minister deputy happens to be former vice mayor of Tbilisi and Kaladze's right hand, Irakli Khmaladze. But also this is the guy who happens to own multi-million real estate in Krtsanisi district, and there were a number of journalistic investigations about him where he failed to declare this property. So, okay, the floor is yours, Nodar. Tell us a bit more about what is happening. Why Gakharia? I mean, he did everything to appease Bidzina. I mean, they participated in the elections, took the parliamentary seats, but still.
Too little and too late. No, he did not. So first of all, he did align himself. First of all, let's start with the obvious thing. He is a traitor for Bidzina. Okay? None of that can remedy this fact. Then, in the beginning of the protest, he was with the opposition parties. He only recently started to rectify his mistakes by going to elections and now announcing ending of boycott and going to parliament. None of that matters now for the Georgian dream, who already in full confrontation mode with West, so they could care less about it, for the moment. So I don't think that it will save him, and it obviously did not. And he will be charged as a traitor, as a political pariah who is now in self-exile. He was not exiled by Georgian Dream, but he was threatened by Georgian Dream and he went to exile. So I don't think that he has any chances to remedy his situation with Georgian Dream. Quite contrary, he is worsening his situation with opposition now, with his former colleagues, and everybody saying, those who were skeptical about his true opposition are saying that, you see, he first chance given, he tried to go back, and I think politically he's in a very bad situation. I mean, on the one hand, Georgian Dream does not appreciate whatever he does because he's a traitor, and on the other hand, the opposition now is very suspicious of him, and many supporters in opposition say that why he went back, because it was a very counterproductive. Going to parliament now, I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, we met him together several times. He's a smart guy, obviously, but also obviously he's not a good politician. I mean, that's my conclusion, because he makes huge. I don't think that it was any part of the deal, because, as you rightfully mentioned, nothing good happened to him.
No,
right.
really.
Yeah. So it was part of his political maneuvers, which ended up badly. I mean, damaging him first of all. And in politics, you accumulate reputation. You don't waste it. Once you start wasting it, you are just a bad politician. So my take from this is that it was a mistake, and he continues to make those mistakes. And I don't think that as a politician he has a very bright future. Now,
let's move to the other side.
Now, more juicier things.
Okay, juicier.
Yes. So let's start with Rukhadze, because he is obviously more significant figure in this all of that. But also we can, in the first part, we can also add the...
sorry, I just forgot that also the deputy interior minister used to be deputy to Gomelauri for years. And he's the one who is sanctioned by the Baltic states about this crackdown on 2024 demonstrators.
One thing to underline on both of them, they are both part of Khaladze's, not Khaladze's, but Garibashvili's entourage. Although Rukhadze was a deputy to Khaladze, he always was, first of all, loyal to Garibashvili, who was his patron, and he was also close associate with Nosherevan Namuradze, Noshiko, AK, who is also a close friend of Khaladze, who owns this big real estate projects in Tbilisi. So this is a continuing of the purge of Garibashvili's people from the existing structures. That's one. Second, Rukhadze is one of the most corrupt officials in Georgian Dream. Arguably, he is the most corrupt guy in Tbilisi's mayor's office, which, considering the current level of corruption, is saying something. You know, it's not easy title to acquire, and he was in deals with Namuradze and Garibashvili's business elite. So Gobakidze continues his quest for purging Garibashvili's people, and these two are part of that structure. That's one. Second, there is a third guy who was almost dismissed, and he will be dismissed very soon. This is Mr. Rajden Kuprashvili, head of the Anti-Corruption Bureau.
Yeah.
I heard he will be not only dismissed but arrested as well.
And the Corruption Bureau would be abolished.
Changed.
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. Charges against him are that, you mentioned it already in your entry, that Rukhadze was lying about his wealth in his declaration. So Rajden Kuprashvili was the guy who was responsible for that.
Obviously.
He was helping them to justify these illicit incomes and to show and to mislead the law and public about their financial situation. So that's are the charges against him. So, and obviously he's also Garibashvili's nominee, and he was appointed at that time, nominated by Garibashvili. So dismissal won't come as a surprise. Now, there is a very good part of the question here, which is not factual but more speculative. Who will Ivanishvili target next? You know, nobody knows. I doubt even Ivanishvili knows for the moment. He is in war with his own elites for the moment. He is arresting people who were backbone of his organization, both political and financial. This kind of people, like the Burchuladze or like Rukhadze, they constituted part of the people who were his soldiers, simply. I mean, they were, fraudulent. They were involved in theft and sometimes in excessive amounts, but that doesn't change the fact that they were loyal to Ivanishvili.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe not because of they loved him, but because they had nowhere to go, and because they were involved in theft and fraud. That's why they were loyal to him. Because they were afraid that UNM will come back and arrest them. Well, hold and behold, there is no UNM, but they're still arresting. So, some people say that Khaladze's team will be next on the chopping block. That makes lots of sense, actually, because Khaladze remains independent figure, which Bidzina usually doesn't like to have in the country, independent players. And plus, he's very, very corrupt. I mean, and that makes sense. The second theory is that Kobakhidze is quickly expiring in Bidzina's eyes. So, and also he's becoming way too powerful, which Bidzina doesn't like. He doesn't like when people working for him become powerful. So, Kobakhidze could be next. You never know. I mean, I think Garibashvili's detention and charge was a big surprise for me. And it would be very hard 6 months ago to say that Bidzina will give a mandate to go after his most loyal servant, who was Garibashvili. So that has no logic in itself, other than Kobakhidze using it. Yeah, I understand Kobakhidze, but this is a question about Ivanishvili. Kobakhidze would love to do that, to get rid of his political, but why Ivanishvili gave permission for that? That's a true question. So there is no logical answer to that. So, and because of that, I don't think that anybody is safe. It's hard to say that, first was a look at the map of the arrests, okay? Guy from Ministry of Economy in charge of energy is arrested. Then former Deputy Defense Minister, and then Defense Minister is arrested. Then suddenly former head of the Municipal Development is arrested, and Deputy Minister of Infrastructure is arrested. So moving to different people. Now, Deputy Minister of Justice is Interior. So it's a very...
They're not arrested yet, but they are dismissed. But this is the way. I mean.
Yeah. So this is a very wide... It's not like they are taking one field like mayor's office or transportation. No, it's a wide range. It looks like as a purge of the people from Garibashvili's team in different fields.
But also, I mean, the head of deputy head of roads department was arrested.
Yes, was arrested, exactly.
For this collapsed bridge near Samtredia.
The bridge which was never built properly. So yeah. So, and have you seen Zugdidi Stadium, which half built? There was a very funny memes about it. So, you see, pick your field: defense, interior, economy, infrastructure, roads. I mean, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. So, we don't know that. Kobakhidze, Khaladze. I mean, there is a very nice book by Liosa, I think in English, about this dictator who decides to, in the end, he can do everything. So in the end, he decides that Wednesdays will be Tuesdays.
This Dominican Republic.
That's a different
one.
And people obey him, and it's changed. I think it's Losa. Wednesday changed to Tuesday. So, I think we are getting to that field now that internally, Bidzina can come with some ridiculous. I mean, suddenly, all European Union is a global war party, the deep state, enemies. I mean, and what we spoke, it materialized.
Maybe we will have Christmas in May. I mean,
yeah.
As in, was it in Venezuela?
Yeah. So maybe his birthday will become a national holiday next time. I mean, some politicians in parliament will. It's time, guys, you to move to do that.
Maybe his wife's or his mother's birthday.
Yes.
I mean, that's important.
So we don't know that. One thing we talked about it 1 month ago, and more than that actually, about siege mentality and about the nobody safe and internal, and it's exactly how it's ongoing. Purges continue. But one thing which gives me, let's say, the mandate and the logical background to say that those who start purges are always purged themselves.
That's right. Okay, let me talk a bit about. Okay, I'll start from Gakharia. There are two things, I think. First, I 100% agree with you that Ivanishvili follows this Russian playbook. And well, he got his money in Russia in the 90s, so he knows it. And this playbook basically says how to deal with enemies and traitors. And well, you have to destroy both. But in terms of enemies, you can make deals with them. Okay? And well, at some point when there is the best chance or time for that, you destroy them. But with traitors, you never make deals. You destroy them whenever you have the first chance.
As example as well.
So I think that Ivanishvili follows this playbook, obviously, in terms of Gakharia. So whatever Gakharia does to please him, either taking the mandates in the parliament or taking into, participating in the local elections or anything, whatever, wouldn't help him. 100% agree with you. But also there is a second thing. And second thing is a more broader thing, how Ivanishvili understands politics. And I think that the way he does it is this. Okay, until 2024, he would say that, well, I am the government, the UNM is the opposition. I mean, whoever is in the opposition, that's UNM, collective UNM. I always beat UNM in the elections, so I am the government. The 2024 elections basically showed that if it was not for the fraud, he would not have been able to defeat the collective UNM. So he said that from now onwards, the rules of the game have changed. And from now onwards, I am the government, and also I am the opposition.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if you want to be part of my politics, I have to own you then. So you have to belong to me. No, there is no autonomy any longer, and it doesn't really matter. For example, if you want to join the government, I decide that. If you want to join the opposition, also I decide that. And well, the same thing works with Gakharia and most importantly Lelo, which this party found itself in probably the funniest situation because, well, they did things to appease Bidzina and to get the, I would say, space in his politics. But Bidzina said that, no, that's not enough. So you have to belong to me to be part of my politics, right? And now kind of Lelo is in this position of the bet. You know this Tsereteli's fable. What is it? Fable. It doesn't belong anywhere. So now, sadly, Lelo does not belong to Ivanishvili's politics, and it also doesn't belong to Rustaveli Avenue politics, because now we have like two separate Georgias or two separate politics. Ivanishvili's politics with its election commission, court system, parliament, etc., and there is Rustaveli Avenue politics with the resistance. Okay, and again, Gakharia. Well, I think that Gakharia's party, if you ask me, it has been abolished. Right, Gakharia is in exile, doing expertise for Berti school. Well, good luck with that, helping Georgia with that, as he says. But his members of parliament, they are part of parliament now, but they all belong to Bidzina. So that's it. And again, for Lelo, maybe there is still time to decide whether they want to belong to Bidzina and be part of his politics, and then it will be up to him to decide whether he would allocate any space for them, or if Lelo wants to join, the Rustaveli politics. Yeah. Okay, right, underground politics, because there is no other way. So this is my take on Gakharia and the politics. As for purges and dismissals of deputy ministers and all the other people, it's like when you go fishing, and it's one of my favorite pastimes. So when you want to catch a big fish, what you do, you catch a small fish, put it on the hook, cast your rod, and wait. And most likely the big fish will come. So I think this is what is exactly happening now. They are busy with small and mid-sized fish to basically circle the bigger fish, which is maybe Kaladze or maybe somebody else there. And also the sequence is exactly as you described. So first things first. First they dismiss people from their positions. Then they start investigations against their deputies. Then they shift one gear higher with them, and then so they either arrest or etc. etc.
Yeah.
So I think these people who are now dismissed, be it Khmaladze or Butkhuzi, well, next step could be that they end up in jail because of the corruption or because of their ties to Gomelauri or Kaladze or whoever.
Yeah, whoever. To continue your fishing analogy, I think that that's a very proper way to describe it. And this was the really case during the summertime. They were arresting one guy in a week or maybe in a month, or dismissing. I mean, Tomo Romeo, when he was arrested, that was unheard of. I mean, and then now they're dismissing 5. It's like now they're fishing with dynamite. I mean, they're throwing it away. It blows up, and let's see what will pop. I mean, the acceleration of the process and the dynamics which are now. I mean, every week you get some people dismissed and arrested, both of them. These last 3 weeks, every week you are getting somebody both dismissed
and then arrested.
And then somebody, lower level guys are directly arrested.
Yeah.
And higher level guys are first dismissed and then prepped for arrest. And so it's amazing how fast, and people are so shocked. I mean, I was recently in one of the funeral ceremonies of the guy who was close to Georgian dream. And guy died. I mean, you don't keep grudges. I mean, he was not Hitler or something. I mean, yeah, he was a corrupt one, but I went there to pay my respect. And he had lots of DGD friends. You know, these mid-level elites, I mean, who are millionaires, actually. They were so scared.
Can you imagine? I mean, yeah.
Before, what I noticed, when a guy like me, and immediately, UNM guy, they would be like very resentful of me, and now they were resentful of each other.
Yeah, and hugging you, how are you, and all that.
Yeah, because they know that they cause each other more harm than we do. And the faces, I mean, these long faces and this fear in their eyes that, they all know that they stolen and they don't know who is next. So this is a kind of the situation where, that there is this room full of people and the sentence will be announced, but it's like when the lotto system, when you put yourself in this bag, and because all of them were associated with Ivanishvili, but not all of them arrested at once. So it will be next week after that. So one thing to say, encouraging thing, with proper structures, and they should emerge. I don't believe that vacuum in politics should exist. There is a lot to be capitalized on, especially when Georgian dream, again, is at war with itself. You can get their former elites to your side. You can use these weaknesses to cause further cracks and to sow discontent inside the Georgia. But you need a properly functioning opposition. Now you have underground, as you mentioned. This is very good. But that's not yet there. And we arrest, jailed now. Sentences were added to them, will be added to them. And behavior like Gakharia, or I'm sorry, but like Lelo, cannot get you into the status of proper. So we need some new project which would unify people first and then start thinking strategically. Otherwise, this mess will continue.
Okay, thank you, Nodar.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching us, listening to us. Please like us, subscribe to our new channel, and I'll see you next week.